Grafana alerting is a big deal on our YouTube channel with some of our most popular videos all about it. So we totally get how important it is to you. You know the basics of alerting, but have you heard of Grafana Cloud IRM? Grafana Cloud IRM or Grafana Cloud Incident Response Management complements Grafana alerting in monitoring, resolving, and responding to incidents effectively. Is a new application that combines the best of both worlds, Grafana Incidents and Grafana OnCall. It replaces the existing OnCall and incident plugins to provide you a more unified and seamless incident management experience. In this video, my colleague and engineering manager Joey Orlando will show you how to get started with Grafana Cloud IRM using his home IoT system as the example scenario. He'll also give a quick overview on how to migrate to Grafana Cloud IRM from PagerDuty, so if that is of interest, let's go ahead and check it out.
Hi, I'm Joey Orlando, and I'm an engineering manager on the Grafana IRM team. Today, I wanted to give you a quick sneak peek into Grafana IRM. Grafana IRM unifies your existing Grafana Cloud IRM workflows in Grafana OnCall and Grafana Incident into one seamless experience. We decided to make this change as it sets the stage for simplifying things like configuring your IRM integrations and configuration, as well as providing a consistent incident response and management user experience. If you're already using Grafana OnCall or you're using Grafana Incident in Grafana Cloud, then what I'm about to share might look familiar to you. If you're not, then welcome to Grafana IRM. I'll give you a quick, roughly 5-minute walkthrough on how to get started. So when you first land in Grafana IRM, you'll notice the My IRM landing page. This gives you a quick overview of alert groups and incidents that pertain to you. I'll go over alert groups and incidents shortly, but first, let's get an on-call schedule set up. So I've already gone ahead and set up a simple schedule which follows the follow the sun on-call model. We have one engineer from NASA or North America, South America, one from Europe, and one from Asia on an 8-hour rotation. Great. So next, we'll quickly review my own personal notification rules. These settings are specific to each individual user in Grafana IRM. Every user can configure their personal notification rules to suit their preferences in how they want to get notified about alerts. I'll go over the difference between default and important shortly, but for now, I just want to point out that when I receive an important alert, I'd like to use the mobile push important notification rule, which is a slightly elevated notification in that it can override do not disturb mode on my phone. So a quick side note on what I want to monitor here. I have a pretty unique use case. I want to monitor my home's IoT system, which includes my garden and my aquarium. And yes, my team and my manager all get to be on call for my personal home garden and aquarium. Sorry to them, but hopefully I don't forget to water my plants. So let's continue with setting up our on-call setup here. We'll continue with escalation chains. So an escalation chain defines a series of steps on how an incoming alert is escalated to you and your team. There's a lot of customization available here so that you can tweak your team's escalation to best suit your specific needs. I've already gone ahead and configured a few escalation chains, 2 for my home garden and 1 for my aquarium. The steps within these, which are pretty similar. I first send a notification to the on-call engineer from my schedule that we just saw. And one thing about escalation chains is that my alerts will continue being escalated according to the steps that I define, so long as the alert is still in a firing state, meaning that no one has acknowledged, resolved, or silenced the alert. So here, if no one has acknowledged my alert, it's going to wait 15 minutes and then notify the team's manager before repeating these steps all over again. My default escalation chain simply sends out a default notification, whereas the critical escalation chain sends out an important notification. And lastly, before we continue our quick demo, let's set up the integration with my home's IoT system. So integrations are the entry point for alerts coming from your monitoring systems into Grafana IRM. When Grafana IRM receives an alert from your external system, it will try to group these alerts into what we call alert groups based on whether or not there's an existing firing alert group, which has a similar grouping ID, which is just the type of template that you can configure. And I'll get more into templates shortly. So for my IoT setup, I've set up a generic webhook integration, but there's many integrations available to you. Integrations provide you with lots of configuration. You can configure what notifications look like. I've set up a few labels based on the alert payloads that'll get assigned to alert groups, as well as change how some of the default notifications look. So if there's any problems with any components of my IoT setup, I'll have them send an alert to the URL that's assigned to my integration. Alternatively, I can have my IoT setup send regular heartbeats to a specific URL. And if there's gaps in those heartbeats, that'll also create an alert. So that could maybe tell me, did the power maybe go out at my house? We can also route alerts to different escalation chains based on either the alert payload or labels. So in this case, I'm routing alerts from my aquarium and garden to different escalation chains. Also for my garden, when the soil moisture drops below a certain level, that's really urgent to me. So we'll route that to the critical escalation chain that I showed earlier. Oh no, so actually an alert just went off. It looks like my tomato plants are really dry. So this looks really serious. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and actually declare an incident. So now we're moving away from the incident response part of Grafana IRM and into the incident management portion. So let's go ahead and get that incident created. So we'll say that this is critical because, I need to make some tomato sauce pretty soon and my tomatoes are really precious. And we'll jump back to the web for the rest here. So I'll go ahead and sign myself as the commander. So Grafana IRM has a lot of integrations and capabilities, which makes your team's incident management workflows easy and frictionless as possible so that your team can focus on the investigation in front of them. Some of these things include auto-creating chat ops channels for Slack or MS Teams for each incident, auto-creating PIR documents for you. We also have some unique AI/ML capabilities available to you. One of these is Sift. So Sift is an example of how we're using your telemetry data in combination with the fact that you're running an incident workflow in Grafana Cloud. It's combined telemetry data within the context of an incident. Better put, we run a series of checks against your data in the context of this incident. It'll surface interesting information which might be useful to your engineers in identifying an incident's root cause. For my IoT setup, this is maybe less relevant, but for your production systems, this could mean automatically surfacing telemetry data relevant to the incident at hand, saving you and your team time. You can also attach pieces of context as well throughout the life of an incident. These can be things like notes, relevant links, documents. This can all be helpful in giving other engineers context about what is going on or be useful when you're working on post-incident review. So, okay, I'll go ahead and resolve this incident. It looks like I'm looking at the IoT system here and the moisture level is starting to return to normal levels. So I'm going to use the OpenAI integration that we have to auto-generate an incident summary for me. And it gives a pretty good summary that I can go ahead and change. But for now, that looks pretty good. Lastly, if you want to get started on Grafana IRM, I'd like to highlight some migrator tools that we have available to you. So if you're currently using PagerDuty or Splunk OnCall and you'd like to quickly migrate over some of your existing IRM data to get up and running, check out our Grafana OnCall repo. Within there, check out the tools/migrators directory. And in the README, we have plenty of information on how to configure these migrators just to get you up and running on Grafana IRM even quicker. So that's Grafana IRM. So from here, as next steps on getting started, you might also be interested in checking out our documentation on setting up our Slack and MS Teams integrations, or downloading the Grafana IRM mobile app and linking that to your Grafana IRM user to allow you to receive alerts right to your mobile phone, just as I did here in the demo.